Traders, welcome to a new year. Not just playing. Welcome to a new week. Hopefully, you guys are having great success in your trading. I just wanted to go over some setups that we've been on the dollar side of the game, but keep in mind you could do these same setups on other trades. And I actually personally took this setup. I didn't give it out to the class because it was just I don't know. It just wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't want to give it out. There's really no reason why. Just didn't. I don't think you guys would understand. So now I'm making a video so you can understand. All right. So after I'm looking at Euro New Zealand, I'm looking at it on the day. Right. Let's look at the day. We got a beautiful uptrend on Euro New Zealand. Right. Price is just coming back and just if you can see based off of how we trade, demands are being filled like demand up. Here's a demand right here. Remember, the demand's always at them lows. It's not taking price, ain't taking them lows out. It just keeps coming back and tapping, right? So we had a nasty. Did this thing just bear with me? I think this thing just. All right. So here we are on the H1. The H1 is still trading above the 200 EMA. That's the only thing we use. And you're thinking, okay, here's a breaker structure. But that's just the H1. On the daily, it's pushing, right? So what we were doing, and then here's the demand right here. If you didn't see it, there's the demand right there. That's on the H1. But if what I was looking at was the M15, or actually the M5. This was late at night, so you guys would probably sleep. And I'm looking at it. Okay, this area was a M15 demand right here. This whole area. And we had beautiful tap. And remember, when it comes to supply and demand, the trend is your friend, right? So we got high, and then it comes right here. Price takes out the new high, so it's a breaker structure. And then it comes down, or maybe it comes back down to the low where the demand is at, and then taps and make a new high. So we're looking at something like that. That's how we're looking at when it comes to some of our structured setups. So we know that this is an M15 demand. Where is the M5 demand? Matter of fact, let me put that right there so it won't confuse you. M15. So we know that's M15. And on top of that, we got a breaker structure right here. Remember, if you don't understand all this, refer back to the videos. So we got a breaker structure right here. So this is telling us price wants to push push up to the upside. Now we know that the 200 EMA on the M5 is trading against us, but we looked on the H1 and we saw an H1 demand that was already tapping and ready to go up. So check this out. So we got the breaker structure. Then if after a breaker structure, it will probably come back to the low. The low has a demand right here, and we had somewhat of a gap right there. From that wick to that wick is a gap. It ain't the best gap, but there's fair market gap right there. And as you can see, it needed to come back down into that gap. So the confluences, remember, the H1, we got an H1 demand. It's tapping on the H1 demand. We came all the way down here to the M5, have an M15 demand and an M5 demand. Let me put that right there. We got an M5 demand right there, right? We got a breaker structure. We see that the market is pushing. It tapped it twice into the M15. So we're really not waiting for it to come back down there. The liquidity is already grabbed right there. So all we have is the M15. Now, if it breaks the M15, then we'll wait for the M5 setup. But this is what we have right here. So we wait for the break of the candle. Talk about it all the time. So it comes down, and there we go. See how it taps it, and it reacts. The break of the candle was right there. I got in. I don't remember where my stop loss is. I think I had it like that. And I on the M15, since I'm looking at on the M15, I'm looking at this move right here, right? What do we have here? Before I put it in, I want you to see where's the supply at? We're finna do some blues clues. Where the supply at? Right there. Yeah, right there, kids. Okay, anyway. It supplies right there, if you understand. So that is the supply. That is your TP on the M5. Now on the hour, yeah, you can probably find the hour supply, but this right here is a if you tighten it up enough, this could be a 1.67%. Now, if you ain't get your if you haven't got magic keys, please go and get magic keys. And and before you get into these trades, look and see what your stop loss is. That's a 16, 17 pip stop loss, right? Now you need to get a lot size that fits this being 1%. Once you get that fit being 1%, then you in the golden days. So stop loss below the zone, or sometimes you can put it below the wick. You put it below. Sometimes I put it below the wick. Sometimes I get stabbed out, but sometimes it don't. But for the sake of this, we're gonna put it a little bit below there, and we're gonna see what happens. See, I actually took the trade. I didn't go all the way up to the supply. I got somewhere in this area because this area can turn it around too. Because it was some kind of M1 supply right there. So I took it right there. So let's see. Based off of everything we learned, everything we're teaching, this should play out the way we needed to play out. All right. We've got the break a candle right there. Let's go a little faster. And so far, so good. And I want to show you something as soon as it happens. Because this stuff happened. So we're good. And when's it gonna happen? Let me stop this for a second. Move all this stuff over here so you can have it. And let's keep going. So I was out of trade right there. But look at this move right here. See what just happened? See what it just did when it came down here? These are called what these are is when the move comes all the way down here. And you got all of this, you got this buy side liquidity. See this move right here? This is something new, but I mean not really. So buy side liquidity. Spelling it wrong. All right. So that's buy side liquidity on this move. And it created a new demand right there. There's buy side liquidity and a new demand. So it taps it. If anyone was trying to get in on the move right here, it wicked below and got all the buy side liquidity out the way and pushed back up. That happens in our setup sometimes. Sometimes, but usually we already out the trade. And I don't know if you guys come back and look at the trade sometimes. When we get out of these trades in the morning time, sometimes this will happen once the US stock exchange opens up, and then some of the moves will make this big corrective candle down here to grab more liquidity to push up some more. And that's all this is liquidity grab. Sometimes you can get into these. I would have got in, because I already see what's gonna happen. This is letting me know once it does this, this should let you know it's gonna blow past the supply. It's gonna come all the way back up here. So that's the target that I wanted, but you can target up here or up here. You can target this whole move. The If you wasn't looking at the how the structure was on the daily, it's on an uptrend. I only did this because I'm trying to be in and out, get my money. But you can target the previous high because we're on an uptrend and we're trading on the M5. So all of this is ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say if I wanted back to it, look, if I put the stop loss below that wick, like I usually do, that's a 25% gain right there. If I go all the way to the highs. But let's say we was coming back down here, just to here. That's a 12% gain. You can do this. Be careful, but you can do this after a break of candle. I do it sometimes. That's why I be getting those 2 R's, 2.5 R's and stuff, because this would just only be 5%. This is, you can make it, whatever you're trying to make it to be. And the results is, after that big push down, grabbing liquidity, it came there, it tapped it, and it went all the way back to the structural high. And you would have been out the trade. And now, if this was your live account and you caught this move, and GBP New Zealand did it too, GBP odd did it too, Euro odd. I saw it happening on both, but Euro New Zealand used to be my favorite pair. This is 22% gain, guys. You guys can do this. The reason why I give out the 1%, 2% is that's quick money for us. A lot of us got prop firms and we trying to make our money. And then obviously, if you guys got an account, you can use your account and pay for the signals or pay for whatever. Like that's why I give out the setups that I give out. But you could take these better setups on your own. I'm just at this point. I can give you guys these setups, but they could be tricky, and our win rate will probably not be as good as it is now. If you guys notice, the win rate, if you go back and look at it for yourself, our win rate with the setups, it's like 75 to 85% win rate. So what's not need to be fixed? I'm not going to fix anything. There's nothing to be fixed. We're 85. I'm trying to be humble. We're pretty much at 85%. And if you take the setups, there's no reason. And then obviously use the risk management, be there for the setups because I tell you when to take them and all that. If you're taking the setups, you're going to get the results. You might not get exactly the results because maybe one day you forgot or you sleep or you took some setups yourself and messed up your account. But if you took these setups I'm giving y'all can pass prop firm account. We're averaging somewhere around 3 to 6% gains every week off M5 order block setup. And it works perfectly every week. Some weeks we might miss a move. Some weeks we'll have a setup and it's invalid. Those don't mean nothing. The ones that invalid, nobody put a trade in. So nobody should have lost anything because they didn't give us the setup. But when we take the setup, we're somewhere around 75, 85%. And I took UJ off because UJ be disrespecting, but I ain't gonna lie, I saw some good UJ setups. I really did see some beautiful UJ setups, and we just didn't take them because UJ is I don't know, it just doesn't respect supply and demand like it should. Now GJ does, but I ain't been. I'm gonna start looking at GJ a little bit more. Um, I have been giving out GJ setups. Uh, but so far, AU, GU, NU, EU, NAS 100, and Gold has been our bigger winners. So that's the ones we've been sticking with. So it is what it is. I might throw you. I'm gonna throw US 30 in there because we're actually 2-2 with US 30 out of the time that we've been giving out the signals for this group. We're 2-2 with US 30, and we're like damn near 89, 90% NAS 100. So maybe I'll throw US 30 in there. Maybe I'll start looking at SP 500 again. I haven't been looking at SP 500 because SP 500 is kind of pretty much what NAS 100 does. But we did have some good setup, like right here off the M5. Look at this M5 setup. Look at that. Rejection candle, break of the candle right there. We would have got in right there. Stop loss below that wick. We could have got a 1-to-1 off that, or I would have went to that supply right there, but it blew past it. So it's probably gonna fill that gap to come back down to here. So we would have still been in that trade. I don't like still being in the trade during New York session. We trying to be in and out, make our money. So But other than that, I just wanted to show you quickly what you could be doing in the market on your own time outside of the setups and to make extra money. And hopefully this week is coming up. We have just this is as good as a successful week as we've been having. So any questions, any concerns, I mean, you just hit me up. Like I said, I'm available to do Zoom calls, but I was doing them and nobody was showing up. So if you need a Zoom call to understand what's going on, just hit me up. No problem. Other than that, I will see y'all on the next video. Peace.